Dear Patriots, please subscribe to our patriotic channel. Like and share this video so your friends can see it. Thank you. Trump has had IT. Sarah Sanders announces they're all banned from White House effective now. The White House has now decided that staffers and guests will no longer be able to use personal cell phones in the West Wing. The announcement came right after a book came out against the Trump administration in January, which was rumored to be a tell-all book of the inner workings of the Trump administration. One that prompted President Donald Trump to threaten Steve Bannon with legal action since the book is full of quotes from him. NBC News reported the White House press secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders as saying, "The security and integrity of the technology systems at the White House is a top priority for the Trump administration. Therefore, starting next week, the use of all personal devices for both guests and staff will no longer be allowed in the West Wing," she said. Staff will be able to conduct business on their government-issued devices and continue working hard on behalf of the American people. Trending: CNN reporter nearly gets into physical fight in White House, gets smacked back to reality by Sarah. But what Press Secretary Sanders declined to answer was whether the White House personal cell phone ban will also apply to the president's devices. Instead, she answered as always, "We do not discuss specific security measures around the president." This is a measure which has been in talks since early November of last year, when the media started to suffer from leaks which no one other than White House staff could have been responsible for. This ban announcement followed the release of the now mostly discredited book Fire and Fury, Inside the Trump White House, by Michael Wolff, which went on to reveal widespread dysfunction and infighting inside the administration. Perhaps one of the most damaging parts in the book is where Steve Bannon referred to a meeting of Trump campaign officials with a Russian lawyer in Trump Tower during the presidential campaign treasonous and unpatriotic, which prompted an attorney for the president to threaten him with legal action since he violated a written confidentiality and non-disparagement agreement the moment he spoke to Wolff. Funny how after Bannon was fired, the leaks from the White House stopped cold. Never again did we hear about any other problem within the White House, either with the president or staff. Here is more on this mess via Bloomberg. The White House may ban its employees from using personal mobile phones while at work, raising concerns among some staffers, including that they'll be cut off from family and friends, according to 7 administration officials. President Donald Trump has repeatedly complained about press leaks since taking office, but one official said the potential change isn't connected to concerns about unauthorized disclosures to news organizations. The proposed ban is instead driven by cybersecurity concerns, the officials said. One official said that there are too many devices connected to the campus wireless network and that personal phones aren't as secure as those issued by the federal government. White House Chief of Staff John Kelly, whose personal phone was found to be compromised by hackers earlier this year, is leading the push for a ban, another official said. The officials requested anonymity to discuss the proposal because it's not final. The White House already takes precautions with personal wireless devices, including by requiring officials to leave phones in cubbies outside of meeting rooms where sensitive or classified information is discussed. Top officials haven't yet decided whether or when to impose the ban, and if it would apply to all staff in the executive office of the president. While some lower-level officials support a ban, others worry it could result in a series of disruptive unintended consequences. Mobile devices issued by the White House aren't able to send text messages, creating a hardship for staff who say texting is often the easiest way for their families to reach them in the middle of a busy day of meetings. Other staff are concerned that they could be accused of wasting government resources if they use White House-issued phones to place personal calls. The White House computer network already blocks employees from accessing certain websites, including Gmail and Google Hangouts, meaning that without personal devices, officials could be cut off from their personal email accounts throughout the workday. People opposed to the idea also note that government record-keeping requirements mean that records of personal calls placed to and from a government mobile phone would be archived and eventually made public. Security priorities may override those concerns. Mobile phone security has been a persistent issue for the White House, And at times some top officials have also worried about staff using their personal devices to communicate with news reporters. In October, Politico reported that White House officials believed Kelly's personal mobile phone had been compromised for months, raising the prospect that foreign adversaries may have gained access to data on the device. Staffers were also instructed not to use their personal or regular work mobile phones during Trump's trip to China earlier this month. Instead, they were assigned burner phones in case they became compromised by a cyber attack. In the early months of the administration, former White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer demanded members of his staff turn over their mobile phones for random checks to see if they had leaked damaging information to the media. Spicer warned his staff that using encrypted messaging apps like Signal and Confide were violations of the Presidential Records Act. Former White House Chief of Staff Reince Priebus proposed a ban on personal mobile phones before he left his post in July, a person familiar with the matter said. His aim was to crack down on use of personal phones to conduct official business, the person said. Dear Patriots, please subscribe to our patriotic channel. Like and share this video so your friends can see it. Thank you. Robert Mueller exposed trying to steal Congress's most dangerous constitutional right. It's been over a year and a half and Mueller's investigation has yet to come up with anything. He uses tax dollars to conduct an investigation that has no legs. There is zero evidence Donald Trump worked with Russia to steal the election. There is plenty of evidence to prove Hillary Clinton worked with Russian agents to undermine the election. Where is that investigation? The only progress Mueller has made is to persecute people remotely connected with the Trump campaign. None of the prosecutions to come out of his probe have anything to do with the president or Russia. Clearly, Mueller is exploiting his power, abusing for his own ends. Now political experts are weighing in. One conservative heavyweight dropped a truth bomb on Mueller. From the Right Scoop. Mark Levin said that the framers never even dreamed that one man, one prosecutor, would have the power to usurp the entire constitutional power of Congress to impeach the president. Levin says it's time for Sessions to step up and Rosenstein has to wake up. It sounds like he wants them to get rid of Mueller. He says that Mueller is undermining the Constitution with his investigation and that it's unconstitutional because the framers did not intend for one man to have the power to impeach the president. I guess I would say that he's right, but only if Mueller has nothing on the president, and he's trying to railroad him. But, if he does have something, any evidence at all, then it's up to Congress to decide if it's impeachable. If it's not, then the Constitution will be just fine. Sessions might not be listening, but America is. How long do we have to put up with this hoax? Mueller has been abusing his power, just to appease bitter Democrats. They want him to find something, anything, that they can use as an excuse to destroy President Trump. This has nothing to do with a Russia conspiracy theory. It's simply about the Democrats trying to steal back our country. They never cared about democracy or the people's right to vote. The fact that Trump is in power drives them crazy. So, they allow Mueller to waste our time and money. Levin's point is spot on. Mueller does not have the power to investigate forever. If he cannot produce results, the case should end. There is no reason we should put up with this charade for so long. But will the Justice Department do anything about it? Where is the oversight? Where is the accountability? Mueller's removal is long overdue. Don't you agree? Dear Patriots, please subscribe to our patriotic channel. Like and share this video so your friends can see it. Thank you. Grassley just put Mueller and Comey on notice in this game-changing move. Robert Mueller's case is falling apart at the seams. Not only are his charges against Paul Manafort on shaky ground, but now, thanks to Comey's most recent statements, the charges against Michael Flynn are now in question. Senate Judiciary Chairman Chuck Grassley is now demanding that DOJ Deputy Director Rod Rosenstein and FBI Director Christopher Wray produce documents related to the FBI's assessments on their interview with Flynn. From the Daily Wire. On February 15, 2017, This committee requested on a bipartisan basis a copy of the transcript of the widely reported call between Lieutenant General Michael Flynn and the Russian ambassador and the FBI report summarizing the intercepted calls, Grassley wrote. The Justice Department declined to provide any of that information, and instead then FBI Director Comey provided a wide-ranging briefing to us on March 15, 2017 that touched on the Flynn issues. According to that agent's contemporaneous notes, Director Comey specifically told us during that briefing that the FBI agents who interviewed Lieutenant General Michael Flynn saw nothing that led them to believe he was lying. Grassley's letter continues. Our own committee staff's notes indicate that Mr. Comey said the agents saw no change in his demeanor or tone that would say he was being untruthful. Contrary to his public statements during his current book tour denying any memory of those comments, then Director Comey led us to believe during that briefing that the agents who interviewed Flynn did not believe he intentionally lied. Grassley wrote, before listing off demands to Rosenstein and Wray. Given Comey's contradictory statements, Grassley instructed the Deputy Attorney General and FBI Director to provide to the committee by no later than May 25, 2018, everything requested in the February 15, 2017 letter, including the transcripts of the reportedly intercepted calls and any FBI reports summarizing them, and the FBI agents' 302s memorializing their interview of Flynn and 1A supporting docs, including the agent's notes. PJ Media notes, the 302 form contains information from the notes an FBI agent takes during an interview of a subject. It is used by FBI agents to report or summarize the interviews that they conduct. The reason that the 302 forms are of especially high interest regarding Flynn is that reports have surfaced indicating that recently fired FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe might have instructed FBI agents to change the information they recorded on the forms. I have been told tonight by a number of sources, that McCabe may have asked FBI agents to actually change their 302s, investigative journalist Sarah Carter told Fox News host Sean Hannity.